mood for this piece?
Romantic.
Elegant.
Okay. Elegant. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, it's handled really proper and whatnot, but just because it's like supposed to be like composed doesn't mean you can't like push. And you said and the it's real slow, really slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But have you heard about expressive subdividing?
No.
Okay.
Maybe not this way. Talk about it.
Okay, Dr. Sanchez talks a lot about expressive subdividing. So when you subdivide in your head and you're counting, you're going 1, 2, 3. You're counting, right? But with expressive subdividing, it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2. And it's the same thing. You're still keeping the beat, but the way that you approach just something as simple as counting and the way that you push towards the next beat is really helpful in the way that you shape your phrase. So, what I heard was and then when you kind of push it, and it's also you're pushing the tempo just a little bit, and then here, after the trill, you can relax it. Okay. So why don't you try that? Think about pushing a little bit more through the long notes, and at the very end, and it's also helpful because you're running out of air, then you can kind of like relax it. Okay. Try that.
Should it be counting quarter notes?
Yeah, 1, 2, or 2, 3, 2. That sounded better already. The only thing I would say is to avoid taking that breath, you can start even softer. And then try it one more time. Try not to take that breath. Try to make it all the way to the end. Maybe we'll push it a little bit more. And you made it, and then you just needed to do it a couple more times that way, so your body is like, oh,
used to it.
I can do it.
Maybe I should start softer.
Yeah.
Even before.
And I'd say if you really, really had to, you could breathe there. But I don't really like that one because then you're making 2 bar phrases.
Okay.
So, good. Try it again, and we'll keep going.
One second. It's difficult to think in my mind how that would sound like. Maybe I should try to count. Actually, out loud.
Count out loud, and I'll play it.
2. Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
Try that? Alright. I'll start right there, though. Okay? Give me like 1, 2, 3, 1, and then I'll count.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and then I just pretended it was before.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, good. And I'm not super familiar with this, but that was good. And then if you think that when you're playing, and then there maybe 1 E and so you make sure that's right on. So a smaller subdivision would help. Oh, and then the other thing I was gonna say, while you were counting for me, actually, it was kind of inspiring because then I didn't have to count for myself. I could think about other things, and I was thinking about my vibrato a lot. So when I was trying to think of a more forward, my vibrato would kind of speed up. Yes. So think of your vibrato and your 1, 2, 3, like going towards somewhere to work together. Right there.
Right here? Oh, right here.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to go ahead and do a little bit of the faster movement?
Sure.
But that's the basic idea, I think, for most of this.
I didn't know that idea.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I helped.
I just need to get used to the way that counting expressively sounds like. So I don't need to imagine. It's just gonna play in my mind.
It's like the slightest bit of difference. Like, I feel like for people on the outside, it makes no sense because you're like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like, it's the same thing. You're just saying it in a different voice, but it gives you a mood and it gives you a sense of urgency.
Yeah, because the first time no, go ahead. The first time I played, it was there was no expression at all.
Yeah, it's like reading a story to a kid. Actually, this happened. Like the beginning of the semester, I was babysitting Caleb, and I went over to his house and I was reading him this book, and I wasn't planning on story time, but he was like, I have to read a story before I go to bed. So I was like, okay. So I read them a story, and it was, I can't remember what story it was, but I was reading the story and I was like, and then the witch flew out of the window, and he was like, Mommy does that with a voice. And I was like, I don't know what voice your mom does this with. But then I was like, the kid is right, okay? So then I started reading, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember the words, but the way the small things, inflections in your voice, and the way you tell the story is a big deal to your little kid. And that's the music for us is our words. And the way that we tell the story and how we unveil the plot line is how they receive it. So, yeah. Let's do a little bit of the faster movement. I think that's that, and then maybe trying to expand your breathing. Maybe you have good breaths marked in here. I would just try to see if you could go from this one all the way to this one, and here in this case, well, I don't know why that one's there, but from here,
it's before. Yeah.
Like I would try to go from here all the way to here instead of taking that one in the middle.
Yeah, I realized, but that's because I'm used to doing this. I just need to erase them.
Yeah, I just think some of those breaths are. You were doing some good things, and then the breath kind of set you back. So, because then all of a sudden the dragon comes, and then blah blah, and it was like, what? Yeah, but so I keep on making random.
Cool. No, that works. That works. Okay, but I'm gonna play this way slower than it's supposed to be because
yeah.
Should I stop?
That's fine. Yeah, we can work on that.
I was nervous.
No, it's fine. So, what are some really good things? What would you say some really good things to do on, especially say the 16th note part?
To do?
Let me get some more. Yeah.
Break it in smaller pieces and work on how does like there's has a word for it, micro
the grouping games.
Grouping, yeah.
Yeah. So the twos, right? Two at a time, and then two from the second one. And it's actually every time I do the grouping games, you find things that are funny. Those first three, they're all the same. And so the first two groups, sorry, are the same.
Yeah.
And so even just knowing small things like that will help you. I'm sorry, guys, something in my throat. The other one I would say is really good too, is sometimes when you're jumping from a higher to a lower, a really good exercise to do or game to do is the spotlight game. Do you remember that one?
No.
Spotlight game is when you pick a note at random, or you can go systematically through, starting on the first one and so on. But you pick one at random to have a spotlight on. So, sorry, I've never played this, but... And there are those third, yeah. Right, I pick one at random to focus on. Now, I would pick one, I messed up right there, so I would pick somewhere in there to do the spotlight.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, so you're finding something that's wrong, and then you're shining the light of attention on it. And once you do that, it's automatically fixed. So why don't you start here? Let me see if I can catch exactly where.
Do you want me to do a spotlight somewhere, or you want to?
Go ahead and do a run, and I'll see if I can catch it. Good. So let's do a spotlight on that D right there. So play it up to there, spotlight, and then keep going. Yeah.
Try again.
That's good.
I never realized where the D was.
Yeah. Now, how about you do it on the C right after that?
Oh,
yeah.
I skipped the. Yeah.
Yeah, and then ideally you did a bunch more times, but play it straight through. Yeah, magic. So then the next part, let's do the same thing. Start right there and keep going. Let's see where we can catch it. That D.
Yeah, I made this mark here, and I didn't think it was gonna be so big. Messed up. Where?
Actually, that D after that, because you actually played that far into it.
Oh.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, the note after that.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed.
Yeah.